guys, it's Oberstadt, and today I figured I would do kind of like a chit-chatty video trying some of the new products that I have that either came in my BoxyCharm, my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, or the couple of items that I got from either ColourPop or NYX. I'm going to be trying out this new NYX concealer. I don't have high hopes for it. I'm still waiting on an email back from them, so this video will most likely go up after the NYX video, so you'll understand why. This is their full coverage concealer. This is in the shade yellow, and I've got a Wet n Wild foundation brush that I'm going to try and apply it with. It's supposed to help with like color correcting, and I have the regular like liquid NYX one. I'm also going to put this on my eyelid because I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. I went to bed with a headache. I'm running on coffee and meds right now. Coffee. Because went to bed with the headache, woke up with the headache. I've had the headache all day. So I'm looking a little bit extra tired than normal. And the darkness under my eyes is very apparent. And I probably ought to turn the ring light down because of just how bright it's making me right now, and it's kind of a little blinding. It's a little better. Since the ring light is right behind the camera, it says it's supposed to be full coverage, and I've read some of the reviews on it. Some people say it's like greasy, some people say that it's not full coverage. Just from what I'm looking at here in the mirror, I am not seeing full coverage. And since one of the new products that I got in from Ipsy has a little mirror on, I'm going to use this. And I'm just pressing it into the skin with my finger. Hopefully the warmth of my hand will help blend this in. I can still see the darkness under my eyes. So I'm going to go on and put the liquid NYX color corrector over it. My brother just got in the shower. First time in 4 days, so I'm going to let him do that. And if you just said ooh, I have to agree. Ooh is definitely ooh and pew. He sat down at the desk next to me last night, smelling like he does. I'm like, ugh. I was like, you stink, go away. Figured since I already had product on this brush, I would try it. And this is a synthetic brush from Wet n Wild. It was like $1.09. Gonna have to do. And then I'm gonna go in with the two NYX concealers that I have out right now for my brush move. My July shop, my stash. One's a little too pink. Well, one looks kind of salmon on my skin. Might as well just use this brush. I got the other brush out, it's sitting in my lap. I'm definitely going to have to go over it with the sponge. I don't wear a whole lot of face product, for those of you that know or have watched my channel. I don't really wear a whole lot of face products. I think I have. My skin is pretty okay, and I don't like the feeling of foundation at all. And I put concealer on my nose because my nose is always shiny, and I try and hide that. It's not for any other reason than that. It's just to hide the shininess. I can still see the darkness, but to be honest, with my head feeling the way that it does right now, I honestly don't care. So I had some random guy message me last night before I got off to go to bed off my computer. And this was on Facebook, and the guy simply said, "Fox." So I replied, "Dog." And then about an hour or so ago, I got a message from him commenting about the fact that I used the word dog. I mean, I could have said cat or horse or frog or whatever, and I just used the simple word dog. And he wasn't too keen on that word and went into basically a diatribe about how he thought I was attractive and all this other stuff, and then tried to tell me it was a term from the 70s about foxy ladies. And so then I read him the riot act and basically said, "So you're judging me based on my appearance, not my personality or my mind or anything like that. So you're basically judging a book by its cover." And of course I got some more replies to that. And then he made a comment about me being single, or the fact that it says I'm single. I think it says I'm single on Facebook. Hell, I don't know. I don't ever change that thing, so he made a comment about that. And so I kind of verbally let him have it again. And I was polite-ish. And he didn't like my responses. So first he starts off with his last message with how I'm attractive. And then told me I had a big ugly nose. And then said something about now he knows why I'm single. Because I'm a rude, big-nosed bitch kind of thing. I'm like, first of all, you don't know me. Secondly, you messaged me out of the blue. I don't know you. You've never commented on any of my stuff before. You just are some rando on the internet that messaged me at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and he made a comment about social media being odd or funny or strange or something. This is a new elf brush too, so I've washed it. It's just, it had some hairs for a little longer than they should be. I think this is a powder brush, but I'm going to try and use it for this Pacifica bronzer. This is something I got from my Ipsy glam bag. I don't really, this is my face without bronzer. You see that there's a dark shadow there. I don't really do much. I just kind of enhance that. And then I run it over my nose to cut down on the shiny. I just realized I was touching the mirror on the back of it. But, yeah, I thought it was funny how I went from being attractive to a big-nosed bitch. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I took screenshots of the messages between us, and I posted them on Facebook, and I put what not to say to a complete stranger, or a woman that's a complete stranger, somebody that you don't know, and I put a link to his profile. If you have the balls to send me a message, no matter what time of day or night it is, make a comment about my appearance without knowing me, without knowing my personality, without spending any time getting to know me or saying hi, or kiss my foot, nothing, and just saying random things to me in the middle of the night. You might not like your responses. I'm always going to be semi-respectful when I reply, but I will put you on blast. I'm going to go in with the Lumi bronze now, just because this is a cooler colored bronze than the other one. The other one's a little bit warm. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny because he turned on a dime after I said what I said. I thought it was funny. He certainly didn't think so. And since I have it in my hands, I'm going to go ahead and use the Pacifica blush. This is the Wild Rose blush. I already own this in a single, but it's in my hand. And I do have like I have a blush palette that I pulled for this month, but this is a pretty blush. I like it. It does take some building up to get it to the color that I want it to be. Looks like I went ham on bronzer today. Oh well. Maybe it'll darken my spunky mood. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. He probably didn't, but I really don't give a crap what he thought. All right, what do I want to do for highlight? I'm gonna go with the Physicians Formula in Pearl. But right now, if I want to throw something else on top of it, I will. But it's a pretty neutral highlight. It doesn't like shift one way or the other. It's just kind of pretty. It's just kind of really pretty. And before I start on eyes, I'm going to take a sip of coffee and then put on a lipstick that I got recently. And my dad still argues with me about the name of it. Actually, this is the Pixie Glow Mist. I'm going to go ahead and spray my face with this and then stamp down some of the powder. Get away from the air vent. Sounds like my brother's falling in the shower. I hear screaming, I'll get up. And I used the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow primer. That's what I put on my eyelids. I already had concealer and stuff on it, but I really like the smell of this toner. To me, it smells like bergamot, but there's so many different oils in it that kind of smell like bergamot when you mix them together. So it's kind of appropriate to say it smells like bergamot or bergamot, however you want to pronounce it. This is the shade Root Beer Float. This is in the NYX Butter Lipsticks, and to me, this does not look like Root Beer Float. It looks like a rosy pink to me, and my dad says the same thing. He goes, so is that cherry Root Beer Float? I'm like, Dad. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom you guys in, and then we will do eyes, and then I will do eyebrows last. I have a couple of new shadows. One of them is the Balm. It's like this lilac-y shade. I have a beautiful gold from Colored Rain, since only one of the two products came in. Oh, and I painted my nails. This is the nail polish that came in the Ipsy Glam Bag, and it matches the mascara for the Glam Bag Plus. Is that coincidental? I don't know. So I'm going to go into the Honey palette first. Since I already have a brush with yellow on it, I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to grab Sweet Spot at the top. We'll see what I do. Who knows? I've played with this palette a little bit, and I can tell you that the shimmer shades do have fallout on them, but they're so pretty, I honestly don't care. And instead of doing like dedicated tutorials, I've been kind of doing like talk through makeup looks lately. Kind of like this, where I'm like chit chatty. And if you don't like these, then that's fine, but I honestly have been kind of in a makeup funk. Last night, a friend of mine that I've known for, I don't know, about a year or so on Twitter asked for makeup help, or had questions about makeup and needed help with something. And so I messaged her at like 1 o'clock this morning. I'm like, what's up? And she replied, she's like, oh, hey. And we like comment on each other's posts and stuff like that on Twitter all the time, but I follow her, but I don't think she follows me. And she's like friends with other people that I know. So that's how I initially started seeing her posts, was somebody would like comment on her post or whatever, and then I would end up seeing it, and then I'd comment on it. You know, I'm one of those kinds of people. I stick my nose where it don't belong, I guess. And she's getting married in a few months, and she wanted advice on like makeup for her wedding, and her wedding is a themed wedding. So tomorrow, Friday, 2 days from now, it's Wednesday. I never can remember what the hell day it is without looking. I will be doing a live stream makeup look, so it will go up definitely before this, with the colors that I had thought of for her. Because of the theme of her wedding, it immediately like popped an idea in my head on what she could do for her wedding, and I was like, I thought about it before I went to bed, and I had a headache last night, so that probably wasn't a good idea to be thinking about stuff while I'm trying to go to sleep, but it is what it is. I'm going to go into the Huda palette with another brush that I know I've used in this palette. I'm going to go into that center like mauve shade. We'll see how ugly this turns out, yellow and mauve. Who knows? So, kind of looks like it's turning it brown, which is okay with me. So we talked about that before I fell asleep, so I was thinking about it before I fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 9 o'clock this morning with a headache because I went to sleep with one. And so I was thinking about it when I first woke up. Went back to sleep for a little bit because, again, headache. And so when I got up, it was running through my head, and I had ideas for like hair as well as like makeup color combinations and a theme that she could do with her makeup and that kind of stuff. So once I had taken my migraine pill this morning, I put up with the headache as long as I could, but after about 14 hours I'm ready to rip my hair out. So I went ahead and grabbed my migraine medication and popped one of those and chased it with coffee. I'm working on my second cup of coffee right now. And so I started sending her like pictures of ideas that I had color-wise and palettes that I have, because I wanted to keep her makeup look like affordable, because I know how expensive weddings can be. And I've helped other people like plan their hair, their makeup, their like banquet halls, their like wedding colors, that kind of stuff. I've done that before, and it's always a fun process for me. It's like I get to play with all these ooh shiny pretty things, and I don't have to spend any money to do it. Especially when I'm like looking for somebody else and not knowing what her budget is, I try and like look for cheaper alternatives to things. So that way if she has something in mind, then she can, if she wants to go somewhere that's a little bit more spendy, and spend her money there. But it is purely up to her what she wants to do with her money. But I would throw out like ideas and stuff for her to do, or for things to use, or things that I thought would work well, or that would be pretty, or that would accent what she already had. So I had her send me pictures of her wedding dress, which is absolutely beautiful. And then I had her send me pictures of like the wedding cake design that she's looked at, the table set up, that kind of thing. So I had a better idea of what colors she was going with her wedding. And I already knew the theme. And I asked if she like had a favorite color, or her other half has a favorite color, and we talked about that kind of stuff. And so I started looking for themes, colors that would match more like the makeup that I was going to talk to her about doing. And I really kind of wish I lived closer to her, because she lives this one state away from me. And if I did live closer to her, I would most likely like go there and offer to do her hair and makeup. And I did offer her, you know. And she's actually thinking about coming to Florida, northern Florida, to get married, because of some of the laws in her state are asinine. I'm going to go in with this balm shade in the front half of my lid, and then I'm probably going to put the colored rain shadow on the outside, because this has like a gold reflect to it. I guess I need a mirror because this little guy don't have one. So it's a good 5 to 6 hour drive from where I live to some of the new locations she was looking at, because she had already had a place to get married in the state that she lives in, but then her governor changed the laws of her state. So now they're making it next to impossible for people to get married. And so she was looking at Florida, because it's, you know, it's only a couple hours from where she lives to hop over the border and get married here, which makes sense to me. I'll put this under my eye as well. So I spent most of my morning like talking about wedding stuff with her, which has been fun. It's given me a whole bunch of ideas. So Friday I will have the live stream where I can show her 2 different eye makeup looks using affordable palettes in the color story that we talked about, that she thought would be pretty and I thought would go well with the theme of her wedding. And she, you know, agreed as well. And I had some ideas for her hair, so we talked about that. And then of course the Rando guy messaged me. That was entertaining. He had me a little miffed for a while. I was a little pissed off. So I found this balloon It was the letter C. It was a big gold balloon. I said, I found my letter for the day, C. And she's like, C is for classy. Well, and I said, I was thinking more along the lines of crusty or cunty, but you know, classy works too. She's like, I think your reply was very classy. So, I thought that was funny. And it is kind of funny. And you know what? I might just stick some of those screenshots in this video so you can see what he said to me in my replies. Because it'll give you an idea of what somebody that I don't know is going to get as a reply on my personal Facebook page if they randomly send me messages like, you're pretty, ooh, you're attractive, or I love getting these, you have a sexy nose. I'm like, no I don't. It's big and it's ugly and it's a nose. There's nothing sexy about it. So yeah, I like how that went on. That's pretty. Now for the colored rain. This is gold. This is like straight up metallic, beautiful, yellow, sunshiny gold. So I'm just gonna flip the brush over. I wiped it off on the towel that's in my lap. I've got a makeup remover cloth in my lap. And the brush is still a little bit damp. I'm hoping that was my brother I heard crash tinkle out there. This colored rain shadow is stunning in my eye. I have a hair over here tickling my eye. Oh boy. I think that mauve shade worked out pretty good. It kind of did turn into a taupey brown shade. See how metallic the shadow is? Let me do that again. See how pretty that is? Oh. And then my battery is dying on the camera. I usually record for several days or several videos in a row with the same battery. And I'm trying to only charge them when they're slap dead. Unless I'm in a hurry, and then I kind of make sure that they're all charged if I need to take my camera somewhere. Alright, and then I have this NYX liner in the shade Oyster. It's like the same lilac-y shade as this, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in my waterline. And I might tightline with a black. I can tell you that this jumbo eye pencil, whatever the heck you want to call it, when I used it in my waterline the other day and I washed my makeup off, I can tell you that this sucker was still in my waterline the next morning, even after washing my face more than once and a shower. Actually, that other shadow that I used in the front would have been pretty over this too. Okay, I'm gonna do upper waterline, liner, and mascara, and I will be right back after I switch my battery out. So I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, the liner that I used in my waterline isn't black, it's gray, but it'll work. I wanted to try an idea that I had while I was out switching the batteries around and whatnot, because I have 3 batteries, so I took one off the charger and put the dead one on the charger, and picked up my actual official Canon battery and came back in. I did waterline liner with the gray one, and then mascara with the Thrive Cosmetics. I'm going to go back over that purple shade with the jumbo eye pencil on just one eye, and then put the shadow back over it and see if that intensifies it a bit. So I wanted to see because this is kind of like a cream base, and it's the same like kind of lavendery shade. And if it ruins the whole look, then that's fine. I'm not like going anywhere special. Alright, so I got that put on. Now I'm gonna grab the powder. I just want to see if that will intensify it a little bit better. And probably putting the cream down first might help also. You can definitely see the gold better in it. So this is the side without the jumbo eye pencil, and then this is the side with. I think it made an impactful difference. It really did. So let me go ahead and do the same on this side. You know, sometimes with makeup, it's trial and error, and there are days when I do my makeup and I'm not too keen on how it looks. So sometimes I just change one thing or tweak one aspect of it in order to like make it better, in my opinion. And I do the same thing with life. So makeup can always be modified. If you don't like the way something looks, then change just one thing in your makeup look and see if that changes the whole look. And if not, you can always wash it off and start over. And it has a beautiful like gold shift to it. So I think that works. I think the colored rain shadow is a little bit jealous now because it's not the star of the show. And then with whatever's left over, I'm gonna run it back under my brow bone. I haven't done my brows yet. So while I was out switching things around, I noticed that I had a new Facebook message, and of course I sat down and looked at it. And it just makes me giggle because it was my friend Phil, the one who sent me money not that long ago that helped me get the BoxyCharm boxes. And he saw the screenshot that I had put up of that guy's messages to me, so he commented in the message and said lion, so I replied rat. And I said, wait, are you going to tell me how attractive I am, and then when I shoot you down you're gonna tell me that I'm a bitch and I have a big ugly nose? I've known Phil for a while now. We know each other through gaming. He's a really good guy, and he makes me laugh, and hopefully I make him laugh. He was sick with some sort of like strep throat kind of virus not that long ago, and we kind of have this like running joke about it says, well, you must not have been licking your buggies at Walmart. And he's like, ew, why would I lick my buggy at Walmart? and I says, well, you don't ever see me getting sick, and I make sure I lick mine every time I go in. And he about died laughing. I'm surprised he didn't call me. And the other day when I went shopping at Walmart, I always bring a buggy in from the parking lot when I go, because that's just the kind of person that I am. And I don't care if it's raining or not. I mean, if my buggy's wet, I will leave it towards the back. I won't like use it in the store if it's soaking wet. But if it's dry, I'll use it. It's no big deal. I don't care if it's got a wobbly wheel or whatever. I mean, it's not like I walk straight. So why would I neglect a buggy that has its own issues? So when I went to bring the buggy in, I stuck my hand in something sticky. So when I got home from Walmart, I sent Phil a message, and I'm like, well, I had a bonus at Walmart today. And he's like, oh, Lord. I said, yeah, I got an extra special bonus. And he's like, what happened? I was like, I had a sticky spot on my buggy. Bonus extra germs. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, it's storming really bad outside. Welcome to Florida. He's like, that's just disgusting, Rebecca. I was like, I know, but you laughed. So, yeah. And when my friend Ken was here last week, when he stayed over for a couple of days, he just kind of showed up out of the blue, which is fine. He can do that anytime he wants. I enjoy his company. And so does Dad. So, when he knew I had to go to Walmart, he's like, "Are you gonna go buggy licking again?" I said, "I sure am." And I said, "I haven't been sick in like 2 years." I said, "Make sure you lick your buggy when you're at Walmart." And he thinks it's gross, but he knows I'm not licking the actual buggy. What I do, and I'm gonna layer on the other highlighter that's actually the same kind of shade family as the inner eyeshadow color that I use. It's the Maybelline Master Holographic in shade 100. It doesn't have like a name. It's just this like really beautiful purple iridescent one. So what I do when I'm at Walmart, either when I first get there or just before I leave, there's a water fountain by the checkout area next to the bathrooms, because I always go late at night, and it's always you have to go in and out the grocery area, and that's where the bathrooms and water fountains are. So I always go up to the water fountain, and I've never drank out of a water fountain without running it first. I always push the button and let it run for a few seconds, and then I'll drink out of it. It's just one of those weird things. But I will I'll let it run for a second, and then I usually make sure I count, and it's probably my OCD, but I always count at least 10 swallows of Walmart water fountain water. And I've done that every time I've gone shopping for the past, I don't know how long. And I think honestly, and I don't know this to be sure, I am not a doctor. Do I have medical training? I have some, but I'm not an RN or anything like that. So don't take my word for this, and it might work completely different for you. But every time I'm at Walmart, I always take the time to stop on the way, either in the door, out of the door, or both, before or after shopping. And I always make sure I drink up the water fountain. And there was one day I went and I was like super thirsty. I didn't want to wait to get home to get something to drink. And I'm not one of those kinds of people that walks into Walmart and gets a soda or a bottle of whatever and drinks it as I'm shopping. That's number one, it's stealing, and two, I wouldn't do it. So I went, after I got done shopping, pulled my buggy over to where the bathroom area is, and you okay? You dying? Sounds like a cat choking it up out there. And I went to go get water, and the water lines weren't plugged in. I was like, ugh. So I went and drank out of the sink instead. Water's water to me. So I've had some pretty bad water in my times, and yes, I drank out of lakes and streams, and made the mistake of getting a couple of gulpfuls of ocean water while I was caught in rip current one time. So water's water, except for salt water. It's really bad for you, causes dehydration. Don't drink it. But yeah, so that's just what I do. I always get a drink of water at the water fountain, and then either that night, or like when I first get home from Walmart, or the next morning, or within the first 24 hours of me going to Walmart, I always drink at least 6 ounces of orange juice. And I think that has helped my immune system higher with some of the health conditions that I have. My health system is kind of on the weaker side. So I think that it has helped bolster my immune system a little bit by doing just that one simple thing. I don't handle the bags of chicken. I always take those plastic bags and scrunch them down like you would a pillow, like put a pillowcase on a pillow, and I flip the chicken upside down and stick the bag over it, and then I kind of wiggle it on the sides of the chicken bag, so I don't touch the actual chicken with my bare hands. I don't touch my face when I'm at Walmart. I don't scratch or itch anything. And the first thing I do when I get home, I get out of the car, I wash my hands, and then I unload groceries, and then I wash my hands after I'm done. So I'm very particular about how I do things like that. Yes, I guess you could consider me a germaphobe, but you know what? I haven't had a cold or a flu in at least 2 years. So lick your buggies at Walmart, people. No, don't do that. At least be careful about how you're doing things at the store, and that's just all I can say on that. But anyways, this is the finished look using products from the ColourPop order, the Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. These were from Ipsy Glam Bag. This was from the Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. Both of these items were from the NYX order that I placed. So I did use, and this was also from the NYX order, the lipstick. The other correctors and concealers were things that I had bought, so those weren't new. The bronzer and the 2 highlights that I used, those were things that I had bought at Walmart, so those weren't new. The brushes were new. I bought those off of Amazon. So if you want, I will link everything that's on my face down below. I've got to write it down so I don't forget. I've got a little notepad that I keep that kind of stuff in. So hopefully this was fun and entertaining and give you an idea of some color combos that look really pretty when they're done, but you would have never thought to put a yellow and a mauve together in a purple. So it's just one of those things. And I mean, you could do like a neutral lip. If you don't like the pink lip, you could probably do even a red lip, a purple lip, a gold, things like that. It's just the first one I grabbed. I've got 4 lipsticks and 1 liquid lipstick and 3 glosses on my tray. So I mean, you could, well, here, I'll throw this on. This is from my BoxyCharm. This is the Chartist lip paint. This is their gold, their glitter lip paints, and this is in Strike Gold. Okay, so now I've got something on from BoxyCharm too. So anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of funny, weird chit chat, get ready with me, using products that I have gotten in the past couple of weeks, either in a subscription service or orders that I have placed that were small orders. And again, I will link everything down in the description box that is on my face. And I will see you guys in another video very soon. Hopefully you have a great day or night wherever you are. And please like this video and give me a comment. I will see you later. Bye.